Okay, this is What If Deku was Izuku Midoriya. Before we get into this video, I just want to say that this video is going to have two parts. The collabed part and the non-collabed part. Because honestly, my friend kept on asking me to delay the video and delay the video and delay the video. And I had no other what if ideas at the time. So I kept on telling him, well, maybe I should just make it by myself, but he kept on insisting. So I'm gonna just make a collabed part and a non-collabed part. This part is gonna be the uncollabed part, okay? So let's get straight into it. Spider-Man, Izuku Midoriya, the human boy that is known as a powerless, as powerless in this world. The day that a spider bit him changed his life forever. This is the story of how the most powerful hero to ever walk the earth, known as Spider-Man. Izuku wakes up. He then realizes that it was his last day at school. He then said, "This is the day. This is the day that I finally step up to Kachan." Now, he makes his way to school, seeing a few heroes take down a villain. He then says, "No, I have no time for this. I have no time to fanboy over heroes." He then says, "I will not stand down today." Now, let's time skip. Now he's inside of school, or he's in front of his school. He walks into the school and sees Bakugo messing with another kid. Izuku says, "Kachan, stop." Now, Bakugo at looks back and sees Izuku behind him. He then says, "What are you doing here?" "It doesn't matter anyway. You're not gonna do anything." Looking at Izuku with a glare, Izuku looks back at him, also with a glare. A teacher says, "Okay, okay, break it up." Now Bakugo says, "Deku, you're dead meat," after school. The kid then gets up and walks to Izuku, thanking him, thanking him for saving him from Bakugo. The kid then says thanks to Izuku. Izuku then helps the kid up. Izuku says, "What is your name?" The boy then says, "My name's Haruto." Izuku says, "Hi, my name is Izuku," then helping Haruto up. Izuku says, "I need to go back to class now. See you." Leaving, leaving the room, or the hallway, thinking that he made a new friend. Time skip a few hours later. To 3 p.m., he then gets up and makes his way home until he gets punched by someone. He looks up and it's Haruto. He then says, "Why? Why did you do this?" Haruto then says, "I'm sorry, Izuku. This is because Bakugo said he would leave me alone for next year. And the year before that, we live close to each other. You haven't seen me around because I stay inside the house a lot. He, anytime that I go out to take the trash out, to go to the store, he's always there. And I can never get away from him." Now, if no, my bad. Bakugo then comes from behind Haruto. He then starts beating up Izuku with Haruto and his friends. And about 10 minutes in, they then see something move inside the shadows. And one kid says, "Did you see that?" Now, everybody else says no. It might have just been a, it might have just been a shadow, or maybe a car from under the a car shadow that we saw from under the bridge. Now they keep on continuing until they see something leap at them. They then all jump back. Now Haruto was the first one because his quirk was a reactions quirk. this is kind of funny because it's kind of like a spidey sense inside of a way. Now the sludge villain, um, it then appears to be the sludge villain, and all the kids then run away. The sludge villain starts absorbing Izuku. He does this until 5 minutes, until All Might saves Izuku. All Might then says, "Why did you not scream, Izuku?" No. He says, "Why didn't you not scream, boy? Why didn't you scream for help? Why didn't you try to do anything?" Now, Izuku tries to answer, but his throat is broken from Bakugo and the others beating him up. The way that his throat got broken was when they saw the shadow. One of the kids, except for hitting him in the body, kicked him in the throat, accidentally breaking some of the bones inside of his throat. So breaking his throat. Anyway, back to it. Now, All Might then takes a look at him and then sees he's all beaten up. Then he decides to take him to a hospital. Then, in a room with a cast over his neck and his entire body, he sees a spider, but he can't scream or move because his body's severely messed up. It's not a horrible thing. Like, it can easily be fixed with, like, just keeping the cast on for a couple of months. But I don't know why I keep on losing from where I am. I apologize. Okay, back from where I was about to say. Okay, now let's go into this deeper. Why there's a spider inside of a hospital? Some people would say, well, all places have spiders no matter how clean it is. That's true. But unknowing to any of the people in the hospital, there was an illegal testing lab under the hospital. They thought the spider, well, they were testing on the spider to see if they could give quirkless people powers, evening it out, making people not hate quirkless people, but, kind of see them on the same level of sorts. Now, the way that the scientists lost the spider was it had adapted and it had gotten this ability. It would make a lifelike shell over its body. It even feels lifelike. Only if you were to crush the shell, you'd be able to notice that there was nothing in there. But it looked extremely like a regular spider was just dead. Now, this was used for any prey or things that could potentially hurt the spider. Now, after they carried the spider away, the spider then jumped out from its shell, making its way on the ground, crawling up the building, and into the actual hospital. Now, He's then bitten by the spider. At first, nothing seems to happen. He can't even say ouch, it did hurt, but he doesn't feel anything, so he's kind of relieved that it wasn't a poisonous spider. But then all of a sudden, you can hear a heartbeat, a huge heartbeat. His vitals then start spiking out of nowhere. The doctors don't know what's going on. The doctors don't doesn't they don't know what's happening to him because his wounds weren't that bad. They were bad enough to have a full body cast, but it was easy to find out how to heal him, so his vitals should not have been spiking. Then all of a sudden they go back to normal. He then falls asleep from all this pain and just stopping all of a sudden. A few hours later he wakes up. His vitals are completely normal. And he then gets up, which the doctors are shocked by because it should have been at least another 2 weeks before he could even move again. But all of a sudden he could just move like it was nothing. The doctors ran a few tests on him, and they realized that something had healed him. They don't know what, but it was something. And the thing about this is, it healed the broken bones in a matter of a few hours. Now, the doctors then did a few more tests and came back with nothing. They then found out that it's not a quirk. It's not anything that they've ever seen before. The doctors couldn't legally keep Izuku at the lab. I mean, not at the lab, but at the hospital. So they had to leave him. They had to leave him with his mother. Now, he's told to keep it easy, just in case this was just a fluke and his hump bones might have healed, or it was a quirk that can only awaken or be seen whenever he's hurt. And the quirk could have been a weak quirk, and his bones could have gone back to being broken. So he then goes home, and not knowing what really happened, the doctors then send him off, not knowing that they let the greatest hero slip out of their hands. To be continued in the next What If. If you guys enjoyed this, then you enjoyed it. I mean, like, what do you expect me to say? And also, shouts out to Tina. You know what I mean. Just to prove that I'm not using anybody else's idea. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna give you early access to the video. And yeah, have fun. Bye bye.